Right now at 6, we're learning much more about a man accused of driving off in a police cruiser with the officer still inside. What his lawyers say could be to blame for their client's behavior.
Insurance rates are going up across the nation, especially in Connecticut. We'll tell you where we stand and some possible explanations for the rise, plus, of course, what you can do to try to get them back down.
And hundreds of millions of dollars invested in New England's electric infrastructure. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is going to share what it means for Connecticut customers.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for starting your day off with us at Fox 61, America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. If you're just waking up with us, we are off and running on a rainy Wednesday morning as we get over to meteorologist Matt Scott. I don't know if it's rainy at the moment, but, you know, it's
nowhere near as bad as it was late afternoon yesterday into the evening. It was raining to beat the band for many of you. Good morning. Good to have you along. Here's what you need to know before you go. It is still wet out there, but it is significantly quieter. And here's the good news, noticeably less humid out there. Does not feel as, certainly not as oppressively tropical as it has of late. Still watching Debbie and the leftovers coming up this way. We'll time them out for you coming up. Time out some very light rain for you. Listen, everything is wet. There is a little debris all over the place from some heavy rain, especially down on the shoreline. But right now, we're looking okay in Hartford. You head up towards Bradley. You got a little light rain towards Windsor on Route 5. Back over to Vernon, Rockville, Ellington. You can see the radar updating there. I'll put the loop in motion. Got some more moderate activity along the Mass Pike. But by and large, you see the wind barbs. They're coming out of the north and east right now. That is a much drier flow than that strong southerly flow that we've had. 62 in Hartford, 66 in New Haven. Where are the 70s? Well, they're on hold for a while. Look at Dew Point. Where are the 70s? They're gone for now. Look at this. Dew Point's into the 50s. So in some parts of the state, it's awfully refreshing. Couple scattered showers out there. Here's midday. We're going to dry out the clouds a little bit. I'm not looking for any trouble in the way of today. Down the line, we still have to deal with Debbie. So we're not clear of clouds and rain just yet, but we see the end. Temperatures not getting up there today, only into the lower 70s with a lot of cloud coverage. We'll talk about the numbers, see if we can start feeling a little bit more like August. That's coming up in the 7 a.m. That's coming up in a few minutes. 6:02, Rachel Piscatelli, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Not following much on the roads this morning. Things are quiet here as we drive, or if you're heading out the door now and you're driving across the state, looking pretty good. A live look outside, Vernon, Wethersfield, New Haven, and Norwich along 395. Volume is light over in New Haven, more of the same. Wethersfield, 91, light volume there, although we do have some wet roads. Through the capital this morning, New Britain Ave to the Hartford Tunnel is 5 minutes. Route 2, Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge to Monerica, a 7-minute drive. Good morning.
Good morning. One of the top stories here, at least 2 people from Bridgeport are among 9 people who died in an SUV crash in Florida. Bridgeport officials said some of the victims are relatives of a custodian for the Board of Education. Police said it happened Monday night in a farming community about 45 miles west of West Palm Beach. They said the SUV veered off a road, hit a guardrail, and landed upside down in a canal, partially underwater. They said several young children died in that crash.
Well, this morning we are learning more about the man who New Haven police say drove off in a cruiser with the officer inside in the passenger seat.
Now you can see the dash cam video behind us. Now that man was in court yesterday. His lawyer said he has long-time mental health and drug abuse issues. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live outside police headquarters with new details about the man facing charges here. Brooke, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. Well, we now know that suspect is Stacy Footman, but he is somebody that is very well known to New Haven police. He's been arrested more than 80 times over the past 3 decades. But yesterday we got to hear from his attorney saying that he has a lot of psychological issues, suffers from mental health issues as well. even just got out of treatment last week. So they say that this crime that happened over the weekend was very close to the time that he got out of that inpatient treatment. Now, you've likely seen that pretty shocking video. It's been all over our airwaves for the past few days. Really just something that's crazy to watch, really only seen in movies normally. You can see that he hops into a New Haven police cruiser on Saturday night and then takes off with Officer Carlo Rock inside. Now, we now know that Rock tried to call for help, but his radio was actually turned off at the time. The officer tried to pull on the wheel to make him pull over. As a result, the cruiser crashed into a church that was just down the street. Leaders say Rock is suffering from a minor brain bleed today. Footman was also hurt, but we don't know to what extent. Reports show Footman was screaming at those responding officers, saying that they should shoot him. One officer did have his gun drawn, but he didn't use it. The judge says Footman has 2 outstanding warrants for failure to appear, but Footman says that he actually didn't know that existed. The judge was strict with the arraignment, saying this incident is one that he's taking very seriously.
A combination of mental health and substance abuse. I'm not doubting that. It appears, reading the report, he was screaming incoherently towards the police officer in the vehicle and talking about, come out, open the door, they're following me. And then he allegedly opens the door and pushes the officer over, and then car ends up in gear with the officer fighting on the steering wheel as it's going down the road.
And Footman is obviously facing several charges today, including larceny, assault of an officer, and also kidnapping, since that officer was still in the car whenever he took off. His next court date is going to be on August 29th. We, of course, will be there for that. He is being held on a $300,000 bond. Live in New Haven, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Okay, Brooke, thank you for that report. We'll check back in another hour. Well, across the nation, both car and home insurance premiums are rising faster than the inflation rate. For car insurance, nationwide premiums have averaged a 5% rise year over year. In Connecticut, though, it's 10%. Why? Well, experts say more people are driving dangerously and there are more car-related crimes like thefts and break-ins. And one of the biggest issues, experts say, is there are more uninsured drivers on the road.
There seems to be a high proportion of non-insured motorists. And as we all know, Connecticut is a no-fault state. So if somebody hits you, it's not your fault. They don't have insurance. Your insurance has to pick it up.
So how can you reduce your costs? Shop around, pretty much. It can be as easy as picking up the phone and talking with your insurance agent to ask about any discounts or a change in coverage. You can also bundle some of your policies like home and auto. You can increase your deductible. That's the cost you pay before your insurance kicks in. And again, shopping around, maybe another company can give you a better rate. It's always there. Smart shopping usually pays off.